Well, welcome back to German Cooks. It's been a long time. I'm going to be making some strip steak, asparagus, and some sauteed shrimp. I'm going to be making up most of the spices and all that stuff. I got a new mortar pestle. Thank you. All right, first thing what we're going to do is I got most of my seasonings out here. Garlic, shallot, some ginger root, lime, butter, cumin, peppercorns, and I have some smoked mushrooms and Pacific sea salt. First I don't need the whole thing, but I'm gonna trim off some of these spots that get when you buy it. Peel this. I'm gonna slice it pretty thin. And then I'm just gonna chop it up. Now, I crush it a little bit, start getting a little bit of the juices flowing. All right, with citrus, just to let you know, you want your oranges, your lemons, whatever, you want it warmer. You don't have to have it hot, but if you keep them in the refrigerator to last longer, what happens is actually you want to warm it up, roll it a little bit, you get more juice. It's easier to juice lemons, limes, citrus if they're warmer. So mine I leave out. This is a shallot or shallot or however you want to pronounce it. It's kind of like an onion with a little bit of a garlicky flavor. I use these or red onions. Like I said, they look a lot like an onion. They have lobes kind of like a garlic, but I like I said, cooking with them. Yeah, they look like a red onion. I think the flavor is really, really good. So, now the garlic is going to be used for both of my my meats, my proteins. The ginger is actually going to only be used for my shrimp. Same with the lime. Now, I got whole peppercorns. They're the black peppercorns, a little bit spicier than the whites or the pinks or the greens. And actually, all of them are peppercorns, the same peppercorn, but different timings of picking them. Except for the pink. The pink is actually not a true peppercorn. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to crush this up just a little bit. It's crushing it up so it's still, it's not going to be fine. I don't want it fine. And then I use Pacific sea salt. You can use any type of sea salt, kosher sea salt, anything like that works. I like the Pacific because, well, I'm from West Coast. Just add a little bit in there. The salt really brings out a lot of the flavor of meats. I used to not salt anything because I didn't like the taste of salt. But then I found out that salt with the meat is just, it brings out a lot of the flavor. So it's just stuff that I've learned as I've gone on. I'm going to try to pick a cap. Much easier to, now they're hard, really hard. I don't want to use the whole thing. The smokiness will overpower. I just want to just chop off a little bit. Yeah, that's enough. Found this at a local farmer's market when I buy a lot of my mushrooms. I'm going to put that in there. And I don't want to waste this. Crush that up. I do want garlic in there. and other things that I've learned along the way. When they said put 2 cloves of garlic in, I would put 2 of the full bulbs of garlic in there, and that was just a little overkill. Yeah. I just cut off the end. Take your knife, crush. Comes off. But like I said, I'm just chopping up the garlic. Alright. Put that right in the mortar pestle. I like using fresher ingredients. I could have used garlic salt, or powdered garlic and put it in there. Yeah, I'm just not going to. Now the shallot. Now I'm not going to put it inside there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice it. Actually, quarter it. Eighth it, whatever it is. Alright, so I'll just set that aside. Okay, the shrimp that I got was just regular shrimp. I did not get it cooked. I don't personally like having it cooked already. If you're gonna like saute it or anything like that, yeah, it'll pick up a little bit of the flavor, but not nearly as much as you want. I also have the shells still on. It's your preference. I like it with the shells on it, so it can pick up some of the flavor inside the shell, and just keep it in there. I do have olive oil. I use olive oil now more than any other type of oil. I've heard that it's a good thing to use. I don't have the money for some of the more expensive oils. I also have Worcestershire sauce. Now that's going to be for the steak, which is a skirt steak. So with the asparagus, comes in a bunch like this. Take off your rubber bands. They usually carry in water, a little bit in water on the bottom. You don't want your asparagus to be wilted. This is a little bit skinny, but that's whatever. Now with asparagus, what you're gonna want to do, you're gonna want to cut off some of these woody ends. You could see where it starts getting harder, like that. You could snap them off, or you just chop off like the bottom inch, because the rest of it gets really, it's like a woody, but it gets tart. It doesn't taste good. So you want to trim your asparagus down. This white right here, yeah, that's what doesn't taste good. So there's a little piece right there, that's fine. But I just line it up. Interesting thing about asparagus is that my dad hated it. It grows wild. You can find it along some of the roads and such. The thing is if you do find it along the road, you do want to make sure that it's questionable, because there's a lot of the pesticides that people use. Also up in Wisconsin, if everybody knows, we use salt in the wintertime, and we use a lot of salt, and they spray that crap all over the place. So yeah, you can get it, but if you can buy it fresh, especially from like a farmer's market, I like to keep everything local, because they need their money, and usually it's an organic or not as pesticide as a lot of the other crap that you can find in the store. So what I'm going to do with this is, I got a baking sheet, and I'm just going to spread a little bit of oil. so it doesn't stick. Work. And then just spread it out. You want to evenly spread it out. You don't want it lumped on top of each other. You want it to cook evenly. And I'm going to cook this in the oven. I actually did this for a Christmas meal. And I think it worked out great. But also about asparagus, makes your pee smell bad. It's really cool. Yeah, I know it sounds weird that I think it's cool, but I do. I think it's cool. All right, I'm gonna preheat my oven to 375, and then I got Parmesan cheese, and I'm just gonna use just a little bit over it. I'm going to keep the rind because the rind makes great soup. So I've heard. I actually had lemon zest on it. I'm just going to do a little bit of lime. Alright. Not much, just a little bit. Gives a little bit of a fresher smell. And now these are some breadcrumbs that I cooked up with a little bit of garlic and a little bit of salt and pepper. And I did this a while ago for Christmas, which I guess was a week ago. But if you just keep it locked up in here, it should last a little bit. And just sprinkle that. Alright, now I'm just going to set this to the side because I'm not going to put it in yet. It doesn't take too long. Now, like I said, I got the shrimp. Now the shrimp, like I said, still has the tails on, still has that. But you want them veined. You want them veined. If anybody out there has eaten shrimp that has not been cleaned and veined, it has a poop line in it like that. You just want to check it because it will turn your shrimp bad. You will not want to eat it. It'll taste disgusting because nobody wants to eat poop. I already cleaned them off. Even though they are cleaned when you get them, I like to put them in cold water, rinse them through a colander or strainer, whichever you want to call it. And I just put it in here. Alright, so right now I'm going to add my garlic in there. My lots of ginger, because I love ginger. Oh, forgot. With leafy things like lettuce or anything like that, the minute you cut it, it will start wilting. It will turn brown. But if you rip it, it stays longer. I don't know why, just the way it is. Now, you can mix it up with your hand, get it all in there. Alright. I'm going to put a little olive oil in there. Not much. A little bit of the sea salt. Yeah, I'm not a professional, you can tell. I'm going to do that whole thing. Mix it up in there. Now, with this, I'm going to add a little bit of lime. Like I said, roll it. We'll take some little zest in there. Why not? Now, with citrus and fish or shellfish or anything like that, citrus will actually start cooking it with the citric acid. That's how you make ceviche. We'll do that sometime this summer. Something I've never made. Mix that up. A little twist. Alright, now you're going to want to marinate that for a little bit. that to the side and marinate. Cross-contamination. I did not put the shrimp down on the down on here. If you put shrimp on there, or chicken, or beef, or any type protein product, you don't want to put another protein product on top of there. That's how salmonella gets there. All right. That's how E. coli from beef. That's how certain things from pork. You don't see trichinosis as much. But yeah. All right. So, like I said, I got a skirt steak, and I had already marinated a little bit. I marinated it in a little bit of just Worcestershire sauce and salt and pepper. So that's why it looks the way it is. Usually it's a nice, beautiful red with the white fat, or or pink. Well, I don't have a big skillet this long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in nice pieces. All right. All right. Yeah, there we go. So, okay. Now, with the steak, usually it's trimmed up. I do like to leave the fat on there. You don't need to have too much fat, but the type of steak it is a very grainy steak. Most of the people use this for fajita meat. I don't eat fajitas. If I want a taco, I'm making it as a taco. I'm ordering it as a taco. I'm lazy, so I don't do fajitas. So I got these few, and then what I have is this. Now, a little bit on there, a little bit more, the rest. All right, and then just get in there and just get that all over it. I put it between because the pieces stick together. You want to have a nice even on there, so you can see the pepper, you can see the garlic on there, like that. It's just, and then let this marinate for a little bit. You put your Worcestershire sauce in there. Some people don't like it. It's one of those flavors. I actually never tried it until I moved out to Washington. And then one day I decided to try it on sea bass. My dad and I went deep sea fishing when I was younger, and we caught sea bass, and nobody really knew how to cook it. So I decided one day I was going to cook it in a wok. And there I found out that I really liked the flavor of it. So I'm going to let that marinate for a little bit. Oh, and I got butter. Butter. Not that I can't believe it's not butter. Not butter spray. Real butter. This is salted. Sweet cream. Whatever. You can use any type of butter as long as it's real butter. I use a cast iron skillet for my steak. I'm using just a regular frying pan for the shrimp, and you guys already saw what I'm going to do with my asparagus. I'm going to pop these in the oven right now. Now with cast iron, it evenly heats up. So everything's going to be hot. Always be careful, especially working with any type of grease, flammable, what. You can see it, you can feel it, and hear that. Just listen. Two nice pieces. Like that. Oh yeah. Put those shallots in here. I want that to have a nice little sear on it. You can start smelling the garlic and everything like that. Alright, this is one that you don't want to just flash fry. You got to get it cooked because of how the fat is in there. You got to render that fat down. Okay, sorry about that. Welcome back. I had major technical difficulties. I changed cameras. Let's get this cooking back up. Alright, so frying it up, frying this up. And we gotta check on our asparagus because it smells like it's done. Don't want to overdo asparagus, you get it mushy, and it's perfectly done. Fry these up, get a nice little sear on them, like that. Get those caramelized in there. This you want nice and warm. When you add the oil, you want to add it to a hot pan. You don't want to add it to a cold pan. Just a little bit, not a lot. Get that oil nice and rolling. Nice and rolling. Got it now. I use wooden or bamboo. I just like to use it. That's what I use. Yeah. Good. Fry that shrimp up. Want to get the shrimp nice and pink. Squeeze a little bit more lime in there. And you can tell how some of them are turning pink already, like the tails. You don't want to overcook shrimp. Overcooked shrimp is rubber. You don't want rubber shrimp. Put a couple pads of butter in there because everything tastes good with butter. You want butter with your steak. That butter nice and melted in there. This is going to be some good stuff. Butter nice and melted on there. Gives it a nice slice. Oh yeah. Now you can use any type of seasoning. With beef, thyme works really good. Thyme, rosemary. shrimp are done. And the steaks are done. Take them out. I'm going to let them rest. I'm going to let them rest for a little bit. And that is my meal. That is my New Year's meal. It is a garlic lime with cilantro. You put fresh cilantro on there. My asparagus and a fried up skirt steak. And that's the meal.